This is Alaric from Stoic Way. If you possess these 5 traits I'm about to reveal, it's likely you've endured profound inner struggles, scars that even time sometimes cannot erase. Some scars are visibly etched onto the skin, jagged lines, physical reminders of battles fought and survived. But you see, the true scars run far deeper. Hidden beneath the surface of the soul, quietly shaping the way we perceive the world, how we interact with others, and most crucially, how we feel about ourselves. Suffering leaves an undeniable mark. It doesn't just etch itself onto the heart with sorrow or loss. It weaves new threads into the very fabric of who we are, changing us from the core. If you've suffered too much, you know it instinctively, not by the open wounds you carry, but by the unique character traits you've unconsciously developed. These traits are not signs of weakness. They are living proof of your incredible resilience. They are the shield and sword you've forged yourself to navigate a world that hasn't always been kind. Have you ever paused to ask yourself why you care so deeply, even when that care only brings pain? Why you insist on doing everything yourself, even when genuine help is offered? Do you relentlessly pursue perfection, as if it's the only key that can unlock peace? Or do you guard your emotions with absolute fierceness, like precious treasures no one is allowed to touch, for fear of being hurt? Perhaps you felt an irresistible urge to control every facet of your life, haunted by the fear that if you let go even slightly, the world around you might crumble into chaotic pieces. These are not mere quirks. They are the imprints of past suffering, the persistent fingerprints of pain that refuse to fade from your soul. This is not an exercise in labeling yourself as broken or flawed. Rather, it's a crucial journey of self-understanding. To recognize how life's hardships have relentlessly molded you, shaping you into a complex individual, remarkably resilient, yet surprisingly tender, cautious in every step, yet daring when necessary. Each of these traits is more than just a characteristic. It tells a story, a poignant narrative of battles fought in the silence of the spirit, quiet victories earned in the shadows of long nights, and an unwavering fortitude that utterly refuses to quit. Today, we will collectively delve into these 5 profound traits of those who've suffered too much. Perhaps within their descriptions, you will find hidden pieces of yourself, or recognize a new facet of someone you dearly love, and begin to see that even in the midst of profound pain, there exists an undeniable beauty, a quiet strength you may have never fully acknowledged. This is a deep dive into self-awareness, a core, immutable principle of Stoicism. The great Stoic philosophers from Epictetus to Seneca and Marcus Aurelius all taught us to confront reality as it is, to accept what is beyond our control, external events and others' behaviors, and to focus entirely on what we can control: our own reactions, our thoughts, our actions. By analyzing these traits, we are not lamenting the past. but seeking wisdom, understanding, and strength from the trials endured. This is the process of transforming suffering into a catalyst for soul growth. Ask yourself truthfully, are you ready to face the imprints of suffering? Not with weak lamentation, but with profound Stoic wisdom and courage? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. And together, we will explore these depths. The first trait we'll explore is heightened empathy. There's something truly remarkable about people who have walked through fire and emerged, not unscathed, but transformed. Their hearts seem to resonate at a different frequency, like instruments finely tuned by suffering. They feel everything with astonishing depth. They can see pain others overlook, hear cries others dismiss, and notice when someone's smile is just a fragile mask. Heightened empathy is their extraordinary gift, though it often feels like a curse, a heavy burden to carry. Imagine this. You're standing in a crowded room, and instead of hearing idle chatter, you're bombarded with unspoken pain. The quiet anxieties, the unvoiced fears, the simmering disappointments. That's what heightened empathy feels like. It's walking into a friend's house and knowing, just from their posture or the way they exhale, that they've had a rough day. It's sensing the weight behind a single word, catching the flicker of sorrow in someone's eyes. It's the ability to inhabit another person's world without an invitation, to feel their wounds as if they were your own. But empathy is not free. Those who possess it carry an emotional toll, a fatigue that doesn't vanish with sleep. It's as if the world's sorrow collects in their soul. They're the ones who stay late after work because they sense someone is struggling. They lend money they can't spare because they know what desperation feels like. They are the silent heroes, always giving, never asking. But who heals the healer? The truth is, their empathy stems from their own pain, from nights spent unseen, mornings waking up longing for someone to understand them. Their empathy is an unspoken promise. I will never let anyone feel as alone as I once did. In Stoic philosophy, we're taught the dichotomy of control. We can't control others' pain, only our response to it. For those with heightened empathy, the challenge is learning to care without losing yourself in the sorrow. This requires profound self-awareness, mental discipline. Epictetus reminds us, what disturbs men is not things, but their judgments about things. You can't stop others from suffering, but you can control how their suffering affects you. To transform empathy into Stoic strength, you must cultivate ataraxia, inner tranquility. This doesn't mean indifference. It means stillness, like a calm lake, reflecting the storms above, but undisturbed below. You feel others' pain, but you don't become their pain. You may ask, how can I empathize without being drained? The answer is boundaries and inner fortitude. Make space for your recovery. Practice mindfulness. Remind yourself, you help best when you're grounded in yourself. Stoic empathy is quiet strength. It's compassion without collapse. It's knowing your energy is finite and choosing where to place it wisely. Seneca often wrote, "A man must guard his soul like a fortress." You are not here to carry the world. You are here to illuminate the world without burning out. Let your empathy be a beacon, a focused light, not a wildfire that consumes you. Transform your empathy into a weapon of wisdom. Use it to guide, not to bleed. This is how you become the healer, who heals from a place of stillness. Now say it with me. My empathy is my stoic wisdom, with boundaries and strength. Write it in the comments. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world. The second trait we need to unravel is hyper-independence. I don't need anyone. It's the mantra of the hyper-independent. On the surface, it seems like a badge of honor, a declaration of unshakable strength. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find scars hidden beneath that defiance. Hyper-independence isn't born of confidence. It's born of betrayal, of abandonment, of the moments when help should have arrived, but didn't. It's a reflex, a shield crafted from pain. In small things, it looks like this. Carrying all the groceries in one trip, even when your arms ache. Fixing the sink yourself, instead of asking for help. Refusing to let anyone see you struggle. But it shows up in bigger ways too. Saying no to relationships. Shrinking from vulnerability like it's a risk you can't afford. It's the person already standing before anyone can offer a hand. It's the one who recoils from, "Let me help you," as if the words sting. They've learned, through bruises, that leaning on others leads to disappointment. So they build fortresses, walls too high to climb, gates locked from the inside. Hyper-independence feels like strength. But oh, how heavy it is. It's not that you don't want connection. Deep down, you crave it. But to be vulnerable? That's terrifying. What if they drop you? What if they leave? You've been let down before. By people who swore they'd stay. By promises that dissolved like smoke. So, you keep walking alone. You tell yourself it's safer. But is it? Or is it just easier to pretend you don't need anyone than to risk being hurt again? Hyper-independence is your armor, but it's also your prison. You've mastered self-reliance to a fault, mistaking it for peace. And yet, in the quiet, when no one's watching, you whisper, what would it feel like to finally lean on someone? In Stoic philosophy, self-reliance is sacred, but it's not the same as hyper-independence. The Stoic seeks autarkia, complete inner control, but never isolation. Even Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, relied on trusted counsel. He believed in our shared human nature. Yes, you must be emotionally self-sufficient. But rejecting support entirely? That's not Stoicism. That's fear, dressed as strength. To overcome hyper-independence, you must embrace selective vulnerability. Epictetus reminds us, control what is within, release what is not. When you isolate, you're not being strong. You're being afraid. Practice self-mastery. Choose consciously when to open up and to whom. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Reflect on amor fati, the love of fate. Sometimes, fate includes others. Sometimes, it includes receiving help. What if that hand you're afraid to take is the one that lifts you higher than you've ever gone alone? Hyper-independence once protected you, but now it may be holding you back. It's time. Time to shed the armor when it no longer serves you. To embrace a new kind of strength, one built on trust, on conscious connection, on courage. Now say it with me. My independence is my stoic self-mastery. Open to support. Write it in the comments. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world. The third trait in our journey of discovery is persistent strive for perfection. There's a fine line between healthy ambition and crippling perfectionism. And for those who've suffered too much, that line vanished long ago. To the outside world, you appear driven, focused, relentless, always pushing to reach new heights. But inside, it's a storm, a constant inner turmoil that only you can feel. Perfectionism isn't about being the best. It's about silencing that voice in your head that hisses, "You're not enough. You're unworthy." You rewrite emails 3 times. You double-check every tiny detail. You can't rest until everything is just right. But no matter how much you achieve, it never feels like enough. There's always that whisper, "If I just tried a little harder." But harder for what? Will the world finally approve of you? Will the doubts disappear? Maybe when you were younger, you were taught, whether through words or silence, that love had to be earned. And so you learned to excel, to overperform, to make yourself indispensable. If I could just be perfect, maybe I'd feel safe. Perfectionism became a survival strategy, a desperate attempt to regain control when life felt unpredictable. If you can make everything flawless, maybe you can outrun the fear. But here's the cruel joke. Perfection doesn't protect you. It drains you. It traps you. It robs you of joy. The goalpost keeps moving. You keep chasing, and you never ask why. This brings us to the Stoic concept of eudaimonia flourishing. The Stoics believed that happiness doesn't come from perfect outcomes. It comes from virtue and from focusing on what's in our control. Perfection is not in your control, but your effort is. Your intention is. Your commitment, that is. Seneca said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence on the future." But when you chase perfection, you're not in the present. You're always chasing something that never stays still. To break free, shift your focus from outcome to process. Celebrate the effort. Honor your progress. Trust the journey. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, when you do good, don't seek praise or fear blame. Just do good. That's Stoic virtue. Quality of action, not approval. Have the courage to be imperfect, to make mistakes, to learn, to grow. You are not your output. Your value isn't measured in checklists or praise. It lies in your character, your principles, and your peace. Embrace amor fati, love of fate. That includes your flaws. That includes you. What if your freedom lies not in perfecting everything, but in accepting that you don't have to? Perfectionism once protected you, but maybe now it's holding you hostage. It's time to lay it down, to choose self-acceptance, to choose peace. Now, say it with me. My perfection is my Stoic acceptance. Finding value in effort, not outcome. Write it in the comments. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world. The fourth trait we need to dissect is emotional guarding. Don't let them see you cry. How many times have you whispered that to yourself? Biting the inside of your cheek, just to hold it all in? Emotional guarding is your fortress. Built brick by brick. With every betrayal, every dismissal, every time someone used your softness against you. You've learned to smile through pain. To say, "I'm fine," even when everything inside you is breaking. You've mastered the art of deflection, steering conversations away from yourself, changing the subject when it gets too personal. It's easier to be the listener than to be seen. Because being seen means opening up, and opening up means risking everything again. But here's the truth about walls. They don't just keep the pain out. They keep the love out too. You've locked yourself so tightly that even those who genuinely care can't get through. You tell yourself, it's safer this way. But in the silence of night, when the world quiets down, don't you sometimes wonder what it would feel like to be truly seen? Is it heavy, carrying all those feelings alone? Like a dam barely holding the flood back? Always on the verge of breaking. Maybe you believe expressing emotions is weakness. Maybe you fear vulnerability makes you a target. But this belief, This armor, built from trauma, has become the very thing preventing your healing. In Stoic philosophy, controlling emotions is vital, but not by suppressing them. The Stoics taught us to understand emotion, to navigate it with reason, not to be consumed by it. Seneca spoke of examining your feelings, not to erase them, but to keep them from becoming your master. The goal isn't numbness, it's clarity. To feel consciously without being dominated. That's the difference between Stoic control and emotional suppression. One is grounded in self-mastery, the other in fear. To break the grip of emotional guarding, you must first distinguish the emotion is not your enemy. Your reaction, that's where power lies. Epictetus reminds us, it's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things. You don't need to spill your soul to everyone, but you can choose wisely whom to trust. You can allow selective vulnerability, and that choice to open up with discernment is not weakness. It's Stoic courage. Amor fati, the love of fate. It teaches us to accept all parts of our humanity, even the tender parts. What if expressing your emotions, not all the time, but in truth, what if that is your real liberation? Emotional guarding once kept you safe, but now it may be keeping you alone. It's time to open the gates. Consciously, wisely, intentionally. This is how we transform vulnerability into strength. This is how we build real, Stoic connection. Now say it with me. My emotions are my Stoic compass, not my chains. Write it in the comments. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world. The fifth, and perhaps most common, trait of those who've suffered too much is a desire for control. Control is your anchor in a world that feels unpredictable and chaotic. You double-check every lock before bed, triple-check your schedule, and feel that familiar panic when plans change at the last minute. It's not about being picky or rigid. It's about safety. Control is how you keep the chaos at bay, how you protect yourself from ever feeling helpless again. It's a deep-seated reflex of a soul that has once felt adrift. But control, it's a double-edged sword. It offers comfort, but it can become a cage. You struggle to delegate. You fear others won't do it right. You avoid risks, spontaneity, or letting life surprise you. You micromanage every detail because the thought of letting go terrifies you. What if everything falls apart? What if you end up back in that place you swore you'd never return to? And underneath all of it is this quiet truth. You've been at the mercy of chaos before. You swore never again. So you control to protect yourself. But that protection might be costing you life's beauty. The greatest act of courage might be letting go, trusting, surrendering, believing that not everything needs to be planned, to be perfect. In Stoic philosophy, control is foundational, but it's understood differently. The Stoics taught the dichotomy of control. We control our judgments, thoughts, reactions, and actions, but not events, not people, not the future. Epictetus said, "The goal is peace by accepting what we cannot control." Maybe your need to control everything once protected you, but now it may be keeping you from freedom. So how do we transform this? By shifting your focus. Let go of what's not in your grasp and double down on what is. That means embracing uncertainty with calm and courage. This isn't weakness. It's the highest form of self-mastery, controlling your inner state amidst external chaos. Reflect on amor fati, the love of fate, loving what is, even the unpredictability. Because in that acceptance, peace is found. What if letting go is your greatest strength? A strength you never knew, while clinging to control? Control once kept you alive, but now it might be the very chain that binds you. It's time to trust the flow of life, to surrender not in weakness, but in conscious power. The strength of trust, the strength of flexibility, the peace that comes from knowing you've done your best, and the rest is not yours to hold. Now say it with me. My control is my Stoic acceptance. Letting go of what's out of my grasp. Write it in the comments. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world. If these traits, heightened empathy, extreme independence, an insatiable drive for perfection, emotional control, and the desire to stay in control resonate with you, it's not because you're broken. It's because you survived. You made it through things many never could. These traits are the armor you forged in the fire of your battles, tools you've used to navigate a world that wasn't always kind. But isn't armor heavy? And tools, though useful, were never meant to be clutched forever, right? What happens if you begin to let go? What if you allow someone to see your scars instead of hiding them? What if you let yourself stumble without fearing judgment? You've already proven your strength. You're still here, aren't you? Maybe now it's time to prove something even harder. That you can release the burdens you've carried and finally give yourself permission to heal. In Stoic philosophy, letting go of unnecessary burdens is an act of liberation. Seneca taught us, the less you depend on the external, the freer you become. These traits, though forged from resilience, can become shackles if we remain unaware of them. This is the time to practice self-mastery, not to suppress, but to choose your path. To choose a life guided by virtue, including the courage to embrace vulnerability and seek authentic connection. See your scars not as weaknesses, but as proof of your astonishing resilience as evidence of the priceless lessons life has taught you. From this point forward, use your empathy to connect consciously, your independence to be self-sufficient without isolation, your pursuit of perfection to fuel growth, not obsession, your emotional control to manage, not suppress, and your desire for control to focus only on what is truly within your grasp. Let the wisdom of Stoicism illuminate your path, turning past burdens into fuel for your evolution. You are not just a survivor. You are someone who chooses to thrive. This is your time to release the weight of unhealed scars and step into the true freedom of a Stoic soul. Say it with me. I release the burden. I embrace Stoic healing. I am free. Type it in the comments. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world. And if this video touched something within you, be sure to like it, subscribe to Stoic Way with Alaric, and share it with anyone who needs this powerful message. Join our community and let's walk the Stoic path together. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, live stoically.